Hi, Helena.
Hi, Adam.
And hi to all of our listeners. It's so good to have you here. We have got such an interesting episode for you today. But before we introduce our mystery guests, Helena, why don't you introduce yourself?
Not such a mystery. My name is Helena Dix. I'm an Aussie opera singer. I like high notes and I like sharing them all around the globe. And I've worked at some pretty cool opera houses in all different countries. I love to laugh. I love my dog a little bit more than I love my husband, but don't tell him that. And I definitely also love to cook up a storm in the kitchen.
And my name is Adam Miller. I'm a former opera singer turned producer, writer and director. And Helena, you and I have had the great pleasure over the many years of working together on lots of different projects. And now it's this, the podcast, where we get to chat to awesome and amazing guests. Why don't you introduce our guests?
It is my great pleasure to introduce our Wagnerian superstars of the international stage, Goerke and Brian Mulligan.
Christine is one of the world's leading dramatic sopranos. She's sung at the Met, Covent Garden, and countless other opera houses across the globe. She's particularly renowned for her portrayals in Wagner's works, most notably as Brunhilde in The Ring Cycle, as well as Strauss heroines like Elektra. A Richard Tucker Award winner, she's a commanding artist, a generous mentor, and so very, very funny. Brian is an Irish-American baritone known for Big Verdi, Wagner, and Strauss roles, plus a lot of new music. He studied at Yale and Juilliard, and he works with major houses like the Met and San Francisco Opera. He's a fearless storyteller with a velvet hammer of a voice, and his Dominic Argento album is pure chef's kiss. At the end of the chat, don't forget to hang around for a wrap-up from Helena and I.
Plus, Adam can edit out anything, by the way, so don't.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Also, we have a duck noise that comes up every time we swear, which
great.
Jamie and I had a lot of fun with. So you can totally swear.
Oh, it's on. It is on, my friend.
Brian, I like that you went there straight away. There was no, hey, how's this going to work? Would you like me to? No, I'm just going to say great.
Yeah.
That's it. No intro needed.
No. Sorry.
I also want to tell you guys that Adam was pitching question ideas for us to have, and the title of it says, here are my pitches for the starters for the Wagnerians, is what he's called. The Wagnerians.
Okay.
I've been called worse.
Yeah.
Wagnerians felt way too stodgy, and Wagnerites felt like some sort of mineral, and so I went Wagnerians. And I feel like already this conversation is more Wagneruni than Wagnerian. I'm just going to say it.
I like it.
I agree. Also, that could be a pasta.
Oh, I would eat Wagneruni. Yeah, absolutely.
Try new Wagnerunis.
What sauce would you put on the Wagneruni? That's the question.
God, it has to be complicated and full of incest. I don't know. I mean, what do they sell that at the store? I'll be here all week. Thanks. Try the veal.
Yeah, right.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Oh, how do we even come back from that now?
Sorry,
Too late.
I totally digressed. Yeah.
No, it was a beautiful digression, and that's how we roll. Look, I'm going to throw this question out to both you, Brian and Christine. How did you first discover opera, and what kind of moved you towards that as a career?
Go get it, Brian.
Geez, let's see. It was high school. My voice dropped when I was 17.
Same.
Did you just say same?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
I love it.
Just kind of got into chorus, and from there, my high school teacher was like, "I think that you need voice lessons," and it just kind of went from there. I had no idea really what I was getting into.
If you were in chorus, did they know back then that you were loud? I mean, were you always loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always loud. Not really fitting in. I think that's probably like a common trait amongst guys, people who
Exactly.
sing Wagner.
Yeah.
They're just kind of the sore thumb for a really long time.
And I kept getting put down a voice type in my chorus. I mean, I'm not even a Wagnerian, but it started with soprano 1. I was like, high notes. And they're like, no, we can hear you too much. Can you? And then finally I was like alto 2. And I'm like, I can't sing some of these notes. And my choir mistress was like, correct. What about you, Christine? How did it start for you?
Totally by accident. I had no intentions of singing ever. I started playing the clarinet in 4th grade after I asked my father for a flute, but he handed me a clarinet and said, I like Artie Shaw. And I said, who?
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Artie Shaw. I now understand that you are a super god of all things, but man, I didn't get it when I was a kid. And I played all the way through high school, fell in love with music. I taught myself all of the woodwind instruments and then stopped at bassoon because I realized it wasn't on-off register key and there were thumb fingerings. I had no time for that crap.
Yeah, that sounds too hard.
It really was a lot. So I went off to college to major in music education, and I wanted to be a band teacher. The first week, you know what happens. All of us have to go and do our sight singing exams to be placed in the classes. And they were like, yeah, you should come and audition for the upper division choirs. And I was like, what? No. They said, why not? And I said, because I am a 17-year-old music ed major playing the clarinet. And they said, okay. But it turns out I'm a lemming. And all of the people I met from Long Island, where I'm from, were all music theater majors, and they were all going to audition. So I went with them. And none of them got in, and I did. And I thought, okay. And then I also found out that I was not the clarinet god that I thought I was. And I thought, oh, I know. Imagine what my life could have been.
I mean, come on.
So I just decided, oh, you know what? I'll just teach chorus. Didn't dawn on me that learning to play the piano would be problematic. I just thought I'd switch. And so I went home and I went to a local college. I ended up graduating from SUNY Stony Brook on Long Island. And I started to study and I did a lot of choral singing. I sent in, after seeing on a bulletin board, one of those things, join this thing. And it was the first workshop that Robert Shaw did at Carnegie Hall. And you could pay to sing in the chorus, but you had to audition. So I scraped together $400 of church money, as you know, back in the day was a lot.
Yeah.
So I scraped that together and I went and I did that. And he was like on me like white on rice. And he was on top of like, come and be in this choir, come and be in this choir. At the time, I could sing straight tone.
Oh, a thing of beauty.
And then I couldn't. So that ended quickly because as you were talking about, the problem became I couldn't fit into his sleeve of the sound. That's what he always talked about. I finally had to stop because
I can't imagine Christine Goerke in a sleeve. It's not a sleeve of sound. No.
It's a whole thing. But there's actually recordings, and I go back and listen to them when I was 23 years old, and I'm like, who the hell is that? So anyway, that I started studying in earnest, and when I was in college, I started auditioning for young artist programs, and now you've all been stuck with me for 3 decades, so that's cool.
Very thankfully. Yeah.
For our listeners, I'm just going to say I'm the odd person out here. I don't know Brian. I don't know Christine personally. I unfortunately know Helena personally. How do the three of you know each other?
Rude.
We're all very fancy.
Well, you're Wagnerians. Of course you are.
That's right. We've all been involved in various things in similar places, I would imagine.
Where did you and Brian meet, Christine? Have you guys actually done a lot of productions together?
We've done a couple of things together now.
Yeah. Been in a couple things. Actually, we first met like a really, really, really long time ago, but just as friends.
And now, of course, we're much more.
But it was like,
spicy.
More than a decade before we sang together.
What was the first gig that you guys did together then?
I think it was that the Ring in Chicago that was canceled for COVID.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Did you actually get rehearsals going for that before?
Yeah. We did.
That's the worst.
Yeah, we got to the stage and then it was canceled. Yeah.
And never happened again, or?
No.
I mean, I don't know that there's money to put it back up, but if it went back up, certainly I would imagine Brian won't be singing the same part that he was singing the last time.
A few changes since then.
Yes.
Yeah, I was the Wotan and the Rheingold. And then we were doing Good to Dämmerung together. Christine was Brunhilde and I was Gunther. But we had a lot of fun.
Wow.
Amazing. And I know Christine, well, I can't remember the first time I met Christine, but it was definitely over New York way
I remember.
Do
I remember. You want to hear what it was? I saw you do Alice, and I was like, I want to be her friend. Because you were so funny on stage. I was like, oh my God, I love her already. I mean, you sounded amazing. But I was like, oh, she is chewing scenery. She's hysterical. I love her. And then I was getting in the elevator at sea level, and you were in there with your mother.
That's right. And my mum's like, who's this? I'm like, Mum, this is like Queen Christine Goerke.
This is some crazy lady who's talking to me.
I remember that's right. I remember you getting out of the lift and we were like, blah, 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 blah. My mum's like, who's that? And I'm like, who's that? Oh, God. Mum's like, well, I don't bloody know.
Well, I was so happy to meet you. It was so fortunate that the doors opened and there you were. I was like, amazing.
The people you see around those hallowed halls, huh?
Right? I have many of those elevator stories, actually.
Actually, I think I met Jamie in an elevator there too. And that's look, the rest is history, right? So
that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesse Norman was in one that I was going into one time, and I was 3, and the doors open, and she was standing there. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I tried to take a deep breath. I was in the training program, and I just was like, good morning. And I walked in, and I was standing there, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in an elevator with Jesse Norman. And I finally tried to say something, and, it's like I carried a watermelon. But I looked at her.
Excellent opening line.
Exactly. Thank you for getting the reference. But I finally said, please forgive me. This is a rather strange thing to say, but your perfume is so beautiful. May I ask what it is? And she said, why, it's Jill Saunders. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And I was like, I will never afford that. Oh my God. And off the elevator I went. Like, that was dumb. I carried a watermelon.
And did you forever replay that in your mind? Every
day.
Yeah. I love it.
So stupid.
I love it. I saw her in concert in London in the Jazz Festival, and I had like a little balcony ticket, and it was right in the days that you were just holding on for her, and she actually stopped a few numbers in the middle, and she was but the one thing I took from it, apart from just getting to see her live and all the beautiful Negro spirituals and everything that she did, was the fact that she wore fluffy slippers with her dress. And she just glided on stage, and I'm like, that's my career goal right there. Like, I want to be famous enough that I can wear fluffy slippers on stage and get away with it, because it was the coolest thing ever. Just saying.
I mean, have we not worn Stranger Things?
I was going to say. So, Christine and Brian, what's your go-to piece of clothing that you would wear that you have made it to the pinnacle of your industry on stage? And what's the piece that you've had to wear in one of your shows? I'm going to throw to you, Brian.
Oh, well, I can tell you.
Oh. No, I'm going to throw to you, Christine.
Oh, too late. I started because I was rude. That's what I did.
You started, so you'll have to finish.
Jump in there. That's what I do. Right. Which is why when I jump in, they put a crocodile head on me.
What?
I have pictures of this, and you will never guess the role where I was wearing a crocodile head and a cape.
No, I won't.
Wow.
I'm going to do it anyway. Selena.
Super close. Super close. Any other guesses? It was Kundry, because of course it was.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. Perfect connection.
Sure.
What?
Well,
I laughed because I went into the rehearsal room.
And was this in Germany?
No, it was in Italy.
Oh.
Where all the crocodiles are, obviously. I don't know if it was a crocodile head or an alligator head. Forgive me, Florida people. I just don't know the difference. They're just scary to me, unless they're in a handbag. So I went into the rehearsal room, and I saw this thing, and I started laughing, and I was like, oh my gosh, we should use this. And they're like, we are. I was like, quack, quack. Yeah, there are pictures out there of me wearing this thing. I mean, look, on stage, I am so ball gown or yoga pants. If I can wander out in my, workout clothes and do a concert with bare feet, feet.
That's good.
I have made it.
That's good. Yep. I've worked with a few singers who, if they can wear bare feet in any show, in any concert, they'll jump at it. I like it.
It's me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Brian, how about you?
For me, it was like the ultimate win when I just kind of decided I was not going to wear a tie.
Yes.
I hate singing with a tie. And when I was just like, you know what? I don't. And they were like, oh, oh, okay. So from now on, that I wear no ties. My big costume disaster was in Germany.
Shocking.
You can you can find the pictures. There's one picture on my Instagram. You can find them online. It was a production of L'Africaine in Frankfurt, and they said, instead of we have the Africans be, black, you guys, all of the Africans are going to be blue, and you're aliens from another planet. And so I wore like a head to toe blue spandex thing with like veins. Yes, it was padded. And my entire face was painted blue. I had like a blue mohawk. It took like so long to get into full makeup because my hands had to be done too. Wow. It was crazy.
When I did Parsifal as one of the Flower Maidens with E&O, we had we were alien kind of things as well, and we had extended arms and like bags hanging off us, and and we had to do all the choreography the whole time. And when we got into the rehearsal room to start with, it was so dirty, and they were like, "We want you to just like roll on the floors," and I'm like, it's like dust everywhere. And so the next day I thought I'd be really funny, and I thought I'd bring in a trash bag, like a garbage bag. And I wore it over like the top of my clothes, and I sweat like a mofo. And I was like, okay, Helena, I thought it was hilarious. And you could just see the choreographer looking at me like, stupid cow. So she made us do all this extra.
You got everybody detention.
It's not my proudest moment.
That day you lost 18 pounds in water weight.
It was a win-win for everybody. Yeah, absolutely. No, my funniest one has definitely been my cupcake when it was my first opera in Albert Herring, and the kids as Sissy and Emmy, we were cupcakes with the giant cherry heads.
You were the bounce me high, bounce me low.
That's right.
The little kid. Okay, yeah.
So in the act with the banquet, the director wanted all the characters dressed as their favorite foods. So they had the two kid girls come on as matching cupcakes, and the young boy Harry was a jam tart. And we actually performed it in a market, in a fruit and veg market, which is how he wanted it originally performed. That's how he composed it, for actually performing it in a market. Problem was, because there's no way to go, we were running from like the stairs. There was no wings. It was aluminium roofs and aluminum roofs, and we were there was no pit or anything, and the two cupcakes went to go behind the fruit and veg stalls on opening night, and we got stuck. And the girl ahead of me, she was like, Helena, I'm stuck. And the audience could hear it, so they start to laugh because you can hear everything. At which point I had to like sumo cupcake her out. Because I couldn't get my arms in front of me. So I was like, hold on, Georgie, hold on. And I'm like, 1, 2. And she just went pop through, and then we just got up on the crates and we started singing. I was crying with laughter. It was just it was a thing of beauty. That still haunts me, the cupcakes, still haunts me. I mean, I was trying to think, in what Wagner opera could you put a cupcake outfit in?
Germany, you could put cupcakes in any opera.
Apparently in Italy too.
Yeah, yes.
So, yeah. I mean, right next to the crocodile needs to eat something.
So what took you guys into the kind of like, if fast forward, you had your time, you've realized you're singing opera. I mean, what took you both into the Wagner route? What was it for you, Brian? Did you take a while to kind of get there, like repertoire wise, or was it always something?
For me, actually, I think I was probably maybe 30 when I was offered my first Wotan, and I remember I auditioned for a huge opera house right when one of my first auditions, and there I was 30 years old. They offered me Barak in Die Frauen Schatten, and my manager and I were like, thank you. But, so I was kind of like always aware that like kind of once I committed to that path and I was known for singing this repertoire, that you're not really going to get off of that. you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so I actually like purposely like kind of delayed accepting Wagner as long as I could.
Yep.
Before like people started taking me aside and being like, "You sound ridiculous.
Stop singing Pamina. What are you doing?"
Stop
You
singing
need
Pamina.
to." Yeah, no, it was actually, no. It was actually like my last bohème, and it was Christian Van
Yep.
Horn took me aside and was like, "Dude, it's over." He's like, it's over. You can never sing this again. And I was like, "I know, right?" And he's like, "Yes, stop." And so, then it was like, since then, like I've just kind of, I mean, this is pretty much all that I sing anymore. So.
And do you think it's because, like, when you say it was obvious that you were kind of going in that direction and everything, do you think it's because, I mean, for people that don't know out there that are listening to the podcast, is it like, are people just going to associate it with volume, or is it a color, or what is it for you that you just know that it's
blue.
time?
I think we established that. He wears pure blue. That's the color.
It's blue.
I'm not going to lie. That was like what am I doing with my life? Why? How did I get here singing L'Africaine? I was thrilled to sing L'Africaine, and they like actually recorded it. And anyway, back to the Wagner. I think probably it was volume. But also, like for me personally, when I would look at like, say like, okay, today I'm going to go through, Yochanan, or today I'm going to go through Amfortas. When I was singing it, then I kind of started to feel like, hey, oh my God, this is nicer. I just feel, I feel better singing it than I do,
sure.
like kind of, shoehorn my voice into, other repertoire that it doesn't
Gotcha.
necessarily fit me, But I would like to say for everybody, I did kind of always feel like a sore thumb, like sticking out, like, and I felt like probably like I needed to just get to singing the right repertoire before people would be like, "Oh, that's it. I understand it." Even today, like there's still people who hear me sing Wagner and I still stick out, and I'm still not exactly like what they want or what, I just think that unique voices are just that, and,
Yep.
and like, so I still stick out.
In the best way possible.
But in good ways.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What about you, Madame Goerke?
Oh God, how long is this podcast? Well, I ask a question of Brian.
Yeah.
How old were you when you took on your first big boy role? The roles that you thought you were going to step into when Christian said enough, buddy. And how old were you when you did your very first Spirit Magic Helmet stuff?
Well, my first Amfortas, I want to say I was probably maybe 38, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And kind of, my first Wotan wasn't until I was like maybe 42, 41, something like that. And then it just kind of, but I mean, like, you remember, Christine, remember?
I do, but I was curious about the numbers. Yeah. I mean, because it's interesting. I started out in a completely different way. When I started singing, although when I was 24 years old, Robert Shaw called my manager at 22 when I made my Carnegie Hall debut. I know, sound like I'm bragging. It was really stupid, actually. I should have probably said no, but I was too dumb to be scared. And he called my teacher and said, "I want her to sing the soprano solos in the Britain War Requiem. She's a dramatic soprano." And my teacher said, "Not today, she ain't." She will. Maybe she will be. I mean, chances are very good. But, she said, as long as you understand and you do not tell her that's what she is right now, because I know you will, then we'll make it happen. And we did make it happen. And I have been singing that piece now for, how old am I? 33 years. It's ridiculous.
Ooh, yep.
So thank you, Ben. But when I started, I was mostly singing Mozart, Handel, all the dramatic coloratura stuff. Gluck was as heavy as I got. So for the longest time, I stayed there. But I loved singing coloratura, like super fast coloratura. When I turned 32 or so, now look, I had already read all the books because you tell me I'm something. Of course, I'm going to find out all about it and practice stuff that I'm not supposed to sing. That's what we do.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course we do. But I was supposed to open the season. Well, I did open the season at New York City Opera, RIP, with Alcina, which should have been the most perfect fit for me. It didn't sit right, and things were weird. Pitch was weird. My support was weird, and I could not figure out what was wrong. And I worked very hard, and I thought, well, I broke it. And I didn't ever expect to have a career. This has been cool. I'll just go get married and have babies, which is what I wanted to do. And my husband, who, God bless him, he is a tone-deaf construction superintendent and doesn't know anything about this business, said, I think you would miss it so much, and I think people would miss you, and you're making a mistake.
Wow.
So get your ass back in there. And
Thank you, husband.
Yeah.
right? No, but I mean, and it was, I owe him a great debt of gratitude. Don't tell him I said that. I mean, I'll lie. If he hears this, I'll have to say it with somebody
Edit
else.
this part out. It's fine.
Modified.
Just be duck.
Edit it
quacks
out.
the whole time.
Quack.
Quack, quack, quackity quack. Yeah.
But I did jump back in it. And look, the thing is, the reason I asked about your age when you started this stuff, Brian, I had a great conversation with Debbie Pulaski, who I said, somebody offered me a Brunhilde and I'm 34 and I can't obviously sing it now. And she said something I really wish I would have heard sooner. And I say this to everyone. She said, why are Americans so obsessed with numbers? If your voice is correct for a repertoire and your technique is solid to support it, that's what you should be singing. And if you stay too long in a repertoire that doesn't suit you, you are doing more damage than good. And you are making yourself miserable. I think we all go through that because we feel like, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? And exactly what you said, Brian, the minute you make that step, there is no going back. Now, there are worse repertoires to have a problem like that with. It's amazing music to sing, but it truly is the case. No one's going to call you up. I mean, man, I would die to sing an Alice. No one's giving me an Alice anytime soon. And they said, well, Brunhilde can't sing Alice. And I said, why? Fricka can sing quickly. Oh, double standards.
Yeah.
Mic drop. But it really is the truth. And Brian, it's exactly as you said. So when I started in with the Jugendlich Dramatisch things, which is a fancy way of saying baby spirit magic helmet. And I started in singing, my very first big role was Chrysothemis, so the baby sister in Electra. And I remember going out on that stage at the end of the opera for the first time with 90-something, 110 people in the orchestra, then 10 horns playing, and standing at the front of the stage, and for the first time in my life, using my entire voice.
Wow.
And I thought, I'm
Wow.
home. Oh my God, what have I been doing to myself? And I knew it was right the minute I did it. And I have been immensely lucky. I was still scared to step into the super duper spirit magic helmet stuff. And I had a bunch of Electras lined up singing Chrysothemis. And I laughed because the second one, they picked up the phone and called me and said, we would like you to switch roles. And I said, I would like not to switch roles. I have a contract. I am 38. I do not need to be singing the role of Electra right now. Thank you very much.
Right.
And they said, right. So, okay, but also we would like you to. No, I did not. The third contract, they called and asked me the same thing. And I did not again. The fourth contract, they called to offer me Electra. And I said, I am not ready for this yet. And they said, right, you have two choices. Either it's time for you to step up, or you have to sit down until you feel like you're ready because we can't cast anyone with you. And the thing is, it goes back to exactly what you were saying, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, when people hear the volume and if we do it right, it's not big to us. But outside, people laugh when we ask things like, can you hear me over the orchestra? That is a genuine question. We don't think that we're making it over the orchestra because it's small in our heads. But it is a really scary thing to take that final step. Because what if you're wrong? And that is the end of all the other repertoire. But luckily for both of us, it was not the wrong step. And
yes,
God, it's been a freaking amazing ride.
absolutely. So I mean, obviously, I'm coming at things from a slightly different angle because my shtick is more the bel canto stuff and all that kind of thing. So, what I'm curious about is for both of you, how do you start? Like, what's your first hour alone with your brand new Wagner role? Like, you've got a new Wagner role. Is there a process that you find that's different from other stuff that you've done? Like, you both look like you were laughing. I'm curious now.
Yeah, well, because yeah.
Do you pray for the first hour, or like how does it go?
Hide it in the freezer.
Oh no, I go hard. I jump in and sing through the whole thing without any idea what the hell I'm doing because I'm so excited about it. I'm like, woo! And then I realize all of the things that I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so much work.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like to like kind of listen through or like play through and then like get to like some parts where I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And then I'll like sing that over a couple of times and then like think like, okay, if we can just get to this part in the
you have to put that part down for a little bit.
And say we're going to get back there, and that's the money, that's like the part. Unfortunately, for then reality sets in, there's just like an immense amount of bookwork to do. Just like the language alone.
Sure.
I mean, it's just impossible.
That through composed thing will get you.
Yeah. Where this sentence, it's so much text, like, and
so much text.
Like you can have like a sentence that goes on for 4 or 5 pages, or like poor Brunhilde, like 30. I mean, it's just unreal how much time you have to spend figuring out what am I singing about?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know what you're singing about, then why are you singing?
Once that's embodied, though, it is the greatest gift because you will never have a performance where it is like any other performance you've done because there is a genuine dialogue happening for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is.
I never thought.
It's also there's something amazing. Yeah, I mean, Brian, I don't know if you have felt this. I'm sure you have. We all feel it like on day one. The Wagner folks are a different breed. I mean, it is Olympic style, singing. And so it is taxing on any given day. There can be a page where we realize, oh my gosh, if I don't lay back here, I'm not going to make it through the end of the scene. And the funny thing that happens, it's not funny, it's amazing. I found it the first time I was doing this rep, but I see it every time I go on stage. If you feel for a moment you're struggling, everyone on that stage knows it, and they are like this. We're right here. I got you.
Right.
Everybody's eyes are like, I got you. And they're cheering you on, and they're pulling for you. And my colleagues have gotten me through things that, I mean, I feel like the luckiest person to work with the colleagues that I've worked with. Present company excluded, of course. But, other than that, it's been great.
Yeah.
Listen, Brian and I have gotten into trouble on stage, and I almost pushed him into the pit last time. So, I
mean, yes, yes, you are hilarious.
So we need to hear that story.
Well, one thing though, like.
There's nothing better than making Brian laugh on stage, truly. And he tries not to. And I was like, oh, game on.
No, I know. No, I mean... No, we had so many performances and rehearsals. We would just turn to each other and
gone.
Yeah. I just
but
remember
this particular one.
Like Chris,
go ahead.
Chris, at that last one, like there was this thing where like a colleague didn't want her to touch a part of the set, and Christine was like,
"Of course you were."
So yeah, like
you were.
Yeah.
I threatened to go sit in the seat that I was not supposed to touch. I was like,
I know, but the last performance, Christine comes to me and she's like, "I'm touching that. I'm getting right on it," and I was like, "Yeah." I had like a ring. Anyway, I will never forget. You like slowly laid your body over the entire. I'm sorry. I had to turn up stage. I was laughing so hard.
So she just like slow-mo laid her body over the chair.
Yes, and the guy who was against it like couldn't do anything. He was like, I kept looking at him, and he was like, it was so good, Christine. It was great.
Oh, it was the last performance. I was like, fine, whatever. I mean, what do you think? You already paid me at the intermission. It's over. Forget it. I deposited the check. I mean, forget it. You can't do anything.
I deposited the check.
Come on, don't you? I'm like, oh, really? Click.
Yeah.
I swear, Christine, you and I are like somehow related. Like
I told you. I saw you on stage and I was like, I know her. I love her.
When I was in Wexford doing Christina, we had a director who was very funny about. He was like OCD about where all the chairs went and everything on stage, and he said, "Please, no one move any of the sets." So every break, he would walk out, and I would move something really slightly, and then he'd come back and he'd be like, "No, we can't. No, we can't. Stop. Who moved that? Who moved that?" And I'd be like. So I feel you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's when we met in Wexford. That's where we met.
That's where we met. Yes, going back to that question. From Brian and I were at Wexford in different shows.
So you didn't have an opportunity to push him into the pit? Or to lay on a chair? No.
Or to lay on the chair on the set? No, we didn't.
Yeah. Fair enough. You have to understand, I didn't mean to push him into the pit, but I did push him out of the way so I could get to the chair faster to lay my body across it.
Sure, yes. And that's the excuse that we're going to put into the podcast, but we know you were trying to push him in the pit. That's fine.
Yeah. I just really wanted to sing his role, obviously, so yes. You had a better outfit than me.
Coming back to that idea of the first hour picking up the score, do you start with text or do you start with music?
What are you supposed to do?
I mean, I want to listen to it and like kind of get a feeling for it at first, so like just to like be like, okay, this is what it is. But then immediately, then it's just text for me.
There's so much text. I mean, I did some Strauss recently, and I was just like, having come from bel canto land where I just sing O Ciel or Dio and then like ornament the crap out of everything. I was just like, oh my God, the only way I could learn it was to rap it. Do you guys ever do that, or is it just me?
Have you discovered something we needed to know about?
I just put a rap beat on and I rap it. It really helps me to memorize it.
That's way better than mine. I usually go to TK Maxx or TJ Maxx and get one of those crappy blank books that has flowers and like it says like Sundays or Happy Thoughts or some nonsense for $5. And I write out the entire piece.
Yeah.
So there's something about but I learned this from Ben Hettner because he would walk around with little cards and he would write it. And so, but I thought, let me try this pen to paper in a book. There is something about me writing the words that make it stick in my head. And then because music goes in 3 seconds for me. And I also do the same as Brian. I need to hear it first, but I need to watch it. There is something about, even if it's not the same production, seeing movement set to the text that helps me to memorize.
Oh, yeah.
This is the way my brain works. But after that, I do the same. I go to the text and then the music goes in 3 seconds. Then I try to sing out of the book that I've written, including I write rests between sentences and things like that. So that's a back-ass way to do it. Quack, quack. But it's been working for me. So
for me, like I focus on comprehension.
Overachiever.
No, that's the only way that I can like remember. Like I kind of I had this when I was learning one of these gigantic things. I was like, if I really knew what I was saying, I probably would remember it,
Yeah.
But it's like there's plenty of times like where, there's nonsense. I mean, where it's like,
weird words.
Or it doesn't even, it's not really consequential. Like what the person's saying. Unfortunately, I still, that's really what I focus on is just comprehension and like dialoguing with like my colleagues on stage. But one thing actually I wanted to say that Christine brought up before is like when colleagues of other Wagnerians are like looking you in the face, like, I got you, like, we're going to get through this, that is kind of like the greatest trait, I think, amongst people that sing Wagner is a humbleness. And it's because I don't care who you are in this. Every single person who has sung Wagner for any kind of period of time has been humbled and kind of realized like your own kind of limitations. Honestly, like I struggled with overcoming like some vocal limitations, but really for me, like what was the most vexing was my mental limitations, my intellectual limitations, because like there were just so many times, especially like during the ring cycle, like where I'd be like listening to Brunhilde sing for 20 minutes straight or Loga or Albrecht or whoever, and just be like, I have no idea what they're saying right now. I kind of have like an idea of like what the plot is and what they're going to, but like,
Of course.
I was so upset with myself because like, if you're in something like Bohème or Vespri Siciliani, something like you can pick up a word and then be like, oh, that's what we're talking about right now. But in Wagner, especially like the ring cycle or even Parsifal, like it's so complicated. Anyway, there's a humbleness like amongst all Wagnerians, I think, because we all kind of have understood like how difficult it is, what we're trying to do. And there's like kind of a real kind of community there. I rely on it now. I absolutely rely on it.
But this is something that you just said. I mean, it is, first of all, that comes with repetition. And it's not, look, if your voice is suited to this repertoire, then it's suited to this repertoire. That's not the hard part. The hard part is realizing that you don't just have to memorize your own part. Listen, when I have to listen to you go on and on and on about all of the things that got you to where you are at the top of Act 2 in that huge long monologue, it is a long song. But I have to say, this girl, but it is my favorite because my job then is to react.
Yes,
and
of
if
course.
I know everything that you're saying, I can choose my reactions based on the way you're delivering your line that day, which even though I'm not singing, it's still dialogue.
Absolutely.
That's one of the coolest things about these long stretches.
It helps him color everything as well. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
And honestly, like any utterance from Brunhilde or really anybody like during that monologue is like, please, energy. Oh my God, yes. Let me take some of yours and like see if I can keep going on for another 15 minutes,
Well, again, and then there's this, then people, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm staring. But that's the other thing. And you talk about the humbleness. I laugh because when people who are not used to working with Wagnerians are all like, can we get you anything? Do you need this? Is that, and I was like, oh, you're cute. We're not like fussy, Italian, Verismo divas. All we need is a pretzel and a beer when we're done with rehearsal and we're golden.
Yeah.
Thank you. Where's the pub? Well, maybe we'll go during break. I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
On my brief encounter into Wagnerian repertoire, I did Elsa was my kind of first staged, and I still love the role. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But I remember in the very first dress rehearsal getting to like the second interval and being like, I need a steak and a lie down now. Like I don't know how these people do it. Like I'm done, And
we have a steak and a lie down, pretty much. That's what we do.
But what are those strategies and those tips and those tricks for you to get through these 4-5 hour pieces?
I mean, it's kind of like a case by case basis. Like, I mean, everybody, like, for example, like I have things like I do as a singer, like that, like I like avoid dairy, like on a day that I'm singing. But like, guess what? Christine loves dairy on a day.
I actually eat, I eat dairy. I keep it in my dressing room.
You know what I mean?
I have it between acts.
It's just, you said to
I
me,
love that you remembered that.
You were like, I just ate a huge ball of mozzarella and now I'm ready to sing Electra. No, she did. Yes.
Sure.
And
Yogurt,
Yeah.
cheese, milk. I keep milk in my. I have to tell you, okay, the Met folks are going to be mad, but I don't really even care at this point. So I would go down, and they have the coffee machine in the canteen, and then they have it where the milk is. So I would get a coffee cup, and while they weren't looking, I'd just fill it up with milk and bring that upstairs because there was I'm not going to get like the thimble full of milk. I need more than that. So sorry, Met cafeteria, but whatever. I paid for a coffee.
What is it about dairy that makes you so happy?
I love it. No, honestly, I would much prefer to deal with clearing my throat than having it dry and stuck together. And I rarely have to clear it. It's kind of a delicious mozzarella-in-lubricant, which is the weirdest sentence I've ever said in my life.
I have so many images of Christine Goerke in a bowl of mozzarella now, like so many.
I mean, who's mad?
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
need to know is, don't let my last name fool you. I'm mostly Italian, so it should explain everything. There it is.
There you go. That's it. I remember
Mhm.
Ezekiah telling me that he has peanut butter and boiled eggs. They're his like go-to for Wagner and I was like, peanut butter would stick to your
Wow.
mouth, surely. He's like, no, I wash
Yeah.
it down afterwards, but it helps with
With a boiled egg.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Whatever it is
So
that it
right.
takes for us to do our thing, but it is,
Yeah.
it does give us pause. There's the people who say, I have 4 grams of pasta at 4 p.m. before an 8 p.m. performance. I'm like, I can't be bothered. If I'm hungry, I eat a steak.
big protein in the afternoon. That's it. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I always tell people, like, just bring something to your dressing room that you can eat in case of an emergency, even if it's just a rehearsal. Like,
Yeah.
because I've just seen people like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a banana is always a safe bet.
Same.
I mean,
Definitely.
there's potassium, there's a little sugar. It's just enough to give you a little kick to
And
get
then you've
through.
got the skin there as
Yeah.
well if you want to sabatage someone along the way.
Yes.
Or you need to get to the
Oh.
chair faster to lay your body across it.
there.
Right.
It's like a vehicle.
I love it. Love it. Okay, Brian, I'm going to ask you a question. If you were casting Christine in an opera tomorrow, what would it be?
Oh God.
Well, I would want to do something with her.
Yeah.
So could I be in this opera too?
I mean, look, if you want, but what would it be if tomorrow you had to put something on? Instantly, you go, Christine Goerke. This is who she is. This is who she reminds me of. I want to do this. Let's go.
Her Electra's the greatest.
Yep.
You know,
So let's go.
every
What
time like I hear her do it, I'm just like,
Aw.
I know her, you know.
What about something
Um,
slightly outrageous? Maybe something that she's not known for. What would you love to see her do?
Oh, stuff.
I would live like, now that you like brought up Albert Herring earlier, like I would love to see her Lady Billows. Like
Oh,
Yes.
that's
cool.
so over the top and ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That'd be
Um,
great. Now I
yeah, it would
want
be
that.
great.
When I was 23 and turning 24. I was 23. I just turned 23. At Glimmerglass was my first apprentice program. And we did the first 90 pages of Albert Herring. And I was Lady Billows. And I've always wanted to do it
So
since then.
good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't actually. I'm actually really surprised.
I was asked for one, but the timing didn't work out.
What about if you were casting Brian in something, Christine, maybe that he hasn't done before? What would you like to see him do?
Oh, that he hasn't done before. I'm sorry. I have to jump in with one and that I also would want to do it. And I would pee my pants to do Frau with him.
Oh yeah.
I would just, it would make my heart the happiest in the whole world.
Me too. Me too.
Because I mean, God, Barak is the nicest man in all of opera and just does not deserve the crap that is heaped upon him. Super sorry. But the music's great.
Yeah.
How outside of the box, man. Have you ever done Fledermaus?
No.
I would love to see that kind of fun. Because look, once we start doing this stuff, there's not like, a lot of, give them the old razzle dazzle. We don't get to razzle dazzle them anymore.
Exactly.
But it would be so much fun to see you do a role where you could just be completely insanely outrageous.
I'd love that. Yeah. I don't know Fledermaus at all. So Which role is that?
It's probably a little higher than you'd want to hang out, but I believe in you. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Only if you're Rosalinda, at the end of the day.
Oh, I know. I think you need to be Rosalinda, and I need to be Adele. So it's on.
Let's cast that show.
Casting
let's make
sorted.
that happen. Right. That's my new life's work is to produce that show. That sounds fantastic.
Loud Fledermaus.
Loud Fledermaus.
That's lauter Fledermaus. Yeah.
Louder.
It has to be the bats are there.
Fledermaus lauter. Yeah.
It would have to come with a warning, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, if someone actually gave you the ring of Nibelung, would you use it for world domination or something else?
I don't know. This past year, I did my first Alberic, and I was kind of like, yeah, man, that ring would be good to have. I kind of got a little obsessed with the ring.
I mean, look, I think that I must admit, I think it would be difficult for me not to go slightly Votan on it and be like,
right.
Okay, where is the list of the people who had the great misfortune to think that they could stab me in the back? Let's go. Check, 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 and check. Karma has bitten you in the quack quack. Let's go. So, I mean, that might happen. I'd like to think that my better self would prevent it, but let's face it. I may be spiritual, but I'm petty AF. So let's go.
Love it.
Look, I'm gonna. It's getting on a little bit here, and I'm conscious we've been going for a while, and I know Helena has an opening night tomorrow night. Is that correct? Yeah. So Helena's got an opening night tomorrow night.
Oh, great.
So we might throw to our 5 rapid fire questions. Are you guys up for our regular 5 rapid fire questions?
Let's go.
Sure. Do we answer at the same time, or what's the...
No, we'll throw to you individually. So you might get a little advantage as we throw, because you'll have a moment longer to think about it. But
okay.
Brian, I'm going to kick off and I'm going to throw to you with, can you juggle?
No.
Okay. And Christine, what about you? Can you juggle?
How many times in the area is considered actually juggling?
1 cycle and we'll pay it.
Done. Yes.
Hey, fantastic. There we go.
Christine, have you ever busked and got money for it?
I have not. I really, really felt like I should have, though. I feel like I have missed out on a whole thing. I lived in New York. There were so many subway stations.
How about you, Brian? No? We're dealing with classy Wagnerians, Adam.
Oh, no, we're just dealing with one that didn't think of it. Otherwise, she would have.
Okay, Christine, I'm going to throw to you with, if you weren't a performer, what job would you love to do?
I would love to be a meteorologist.
Really?
I am fascinated by the weather.
That's amazing. And would you want to do like the full presented on TV as well, or are you just going to stick behind the scenes and predict clouds?
Oh my gosh. Would it be funnier than anything to see me giving you the weather?
Fantastic.
Even if I was wrong, hopefully it would be entertaining.
It's now all I want.
No, I love it.
I want the opera with you guys together. And
Albert Herring of opera.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, how about you? If you weren't a performer, what career would you love to do?
I don't have like a specific career, but I'd want to be like outdoors. So I see something like in forestry. I would have like cute hiking boots and short shorts,
Priorities.
I see the outfit.
And just start from there. That's right.
I'm not sure what the job.
I mean, hell, now I see the outfit. I will never not see the outfit now.
I don't know what the position is.
Actually, Brian, I'm in Adelaide at the moment, and one of the things that they have here is called the Adelaide Show, and they just showed me this clip of how one of the things that people go to watch is the wood choppers, and these like big burly men do wood chopping, which I've never seen before. So now I have that image of you in that outfit doing wood chopping.
There you go. You've got a second career coming right there. Sorted.
I did not bring up any wood chopping. I'm innocent of that, but yes.
Okay. It was totally me. Brian, if you could perform a duet with anyone in the world, living or dead, who would it be?
This is hard. Oh, I don't know. I can't. Oh, God. I feel like I'm going to come off like flippant if I bring up like Debbie Gibson or I don't know.
No, we'd pay Debbie Gibson. Fantastic. Great choice.
No, yeah, no, I can't answer this. I'm devastated. Yeah, no, this is too hard. This is like an impossible. Yeah.
Debbie Gibson is acceptable because I'm sorry, for me, I won't even think twice. It would either be Freddie Mercury, who I think is the finest vocalist of all time, in any genre. I have never heard anything like that. And I don't mean like the Caballé kind of, Barcelona. I mean,
I was going to say, do you mean Barcelona?
I want in his register. I want, Brian May ripping away. I want to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or I am from Long Island. I would pee my pants to get to work with Billy Joel just once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Have you ever seen him live?
I have seen him live.
good.
I have to say, at one point, my manager was chasing down his manager right after he wrote that great, is it called Fantasies and Delusions?
Yeah.
The album that he wrote for piano that was Liszt-tastic. It was like the most amazing thing. He's an astounding musician.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Game on. Obviously, he can live in between these two worlds. I'm from Long Island. I want him to write me a song cycle about Long Island that can be commissioned by some big place, and we should do it together. And they were chasing him down, and they were talking for a little while, and then it went away, and I am heartbroken forever and ever. Amen.
Oh, well, let's just put that out in the universe, though, that it could still happen. We want that to happen.
Yeah.
It could still happen.
Oh.
We love that. He's still with
There
us,
it
and
is.
he's apparently doing well, so that's good.
Okay, so fifth question we have here.
Amazing.
And Brian, we're going to start with you. If you had to enter every room with a personal theme song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Both your faces were just a picture then, can I just say?
It's when you say like theme song, it's hard for me not to think like, believe it or not, I'm walking on air. That would kind of be like,
Done.
hello everyone, I'm here. Yeah, but there's just some like phenomenal. Actually, you know what it would be? No, this is what it would be. It'd be like that opening of the end of Salome where it's like,
Yes.
That's what I would.
Right. That's an entrance.
Excellent.
Right there. Yep.
Just- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not
Sorry.
very subtle is what we're saying.
No. We're like, oh God, he's here. He's back.
You keep coming in and out of rooms just for that entrance as well.
I would, yes.
And Christine, what about you?
I'm trying to predict what Christine's going to say.
I mean, it has to be like some fabulous 80s theme song, right? Because, I mean, they're all ridiculous. And I mean, I can't help. I'm in a certain phase of my life now where I'm horrified to know that a lot of these ladies they were younger than I was when this started. But I feel like it has to be, thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Terrifyingly, they were younger than 56, some of them. So whatever, game on. But also, it's just 80s fabulousness.
So good.
My first thought with you was one singular sensation. Steps you take.
Girl, you don't want to see me dance. Ever. I have managed to put myself in a boot trying to do a minuet in Don Carlo. Don't give me a dancing song.
Okay, no dancing song, but the text was formidable for you, so
I will accept.
Oh, goodness. Look,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I've loved everything about this. It's been a delight to meet both of you.
Same.
Thanks so much. Hopefully we'll have you back again. Let's continue this conversation another time.
Yeah, thanks for coming to play, guys.
Sure.
Always.
Thanks so much.
Absolute pleasure to chat with you
Take
all.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was so much fun. Such a chaotic but really interesting chat.
Team Wagnerians for the win, absolutely. And also for me, like just on a completely selfish level, it's really awesome to reconnect with colleagues like that from around the globe because, of course, we see each other. But for me, not being an American singer, it's rare that I come across these guys and get to sing with them and hang out with them. So just having them together in a podcast I was looking forward to it greatly and for good reason.
I've got to say, it was like meeting them at a party. This was
Yes.
basically like meeting someone at a dinner party and just hanging out and talking and that's great. I really enjoyed that. And I've learnt new phrases like spirit magic helmet to reference Wagner.
Every time she said that, and then the one where she was like, and miniature spirit, Wagner, like helmet, like it just, that actually made me cry with laughter because, I'm an honorary Wagnerian. I'm not, not totally in the biz. I've done a little bit of it. But just hearing them talk like that and have like little slang terms and everything, really, that made me chuckle. Not quite as much as it made me chuckle when Christine talked about her kind of straight tone beginnings, like singing, I was like, Christine Goerke with straight tone? What? That made me chuckle.
The other thing I really, really loved was Christine talking about staying too long in the wrong repertoire. That was a revelation to me because we're all told growing up, don't get into it too quickly, don't get into the big repertoire too early. But if that's where your voice is, then just do it. Oh my God, it was fascinating.
It's such a generational thing too, Adam. Like back in my like Maggie Nisbet, who taught me my first teacher. She sang her first Gilda in Rigoletto at 17 on a big stage.
Yeah.
And now you would look at that and go, oh no, this shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't. But why have we done that? Like, why over time have we passed such judgments, as Christine and Brian both said, on the number, rather than on the voice is ready or, it's time for that voice to do these things, because the voices are all so different. And I do think, actually, quite interestingly, and I'm speaking about Australia here, so sorry to people who are not here, but one of the biggest things that I find here working with young singers is that the bigger voices are not really catered for, and they get a bit lost, and then they're kind of also a little bit misunderstood by the educators here in Australia, because people they get a bit nervous about what to do with those voices. So it was just fantastic hearing two of the best voices in that repertoire in the world, and they really are, talking openly and liberally about, hey, it's okay when it's time. Don't hold back just because you think that the numbers are wrong. I think that's really incredible advice.
We should chat to Katrina Waters sometime. She, is it her PhD? I think it's her PhD that she's done on women with loud voices.
Wow.
And it's super interesting. She's got a lot to say about that. And she's had song cycles composed for women with larger voices. And we should definitely get her on to chat with.
I think so. And I think being someone who just recently has taken on quite a few young dramatic voices to help guide them into the next steps. I don't count myself in that category of the big Wagnerian voice. That's not who I am. But certainly I've done big repertoire, and I can relate to it so much. You start off and you think everyone wants you to sing Mozart. And then that's the other thing, that we were talking about, how, the Italians would never start with Mozart. In Italy, if you were singing, everyone would sing bel canto to start with, because it's that old school technique. And it's just so funny with these different opinions. And as I said, over the generations, how numbers have become even more important.
Yeah.
And I think, I might be wrong in saying this, but I think in 2025 that the Fach system, and yes, I said FACH in case anyone thinks,
we don't have to quack that one.
No ducks. I feel like it's a bit prehistoric now, which is interesting again.
Interesting.
Definitely specialists, definitely like, Wagnerians, and for me, the bel canto stuff, but still, I think that singers are expected to sing across a lot more variables now and not in such a box. It used to be that you really had to be in that box.
Yeah.
And I feel like Wagner singers are some of the only people left who do actually sit in a box and do that repertoire for their life, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I get that. I remember someone talking about the volume at which your voice speaks, if that makes sense, so that people who have to, when their voice is naturally loud, having to pull back is really unhelpful to them as a musician and making beautiful music. Whereas, Wagnerians, their voice naturally speaks louder, and therefore they're drawn to that Olympian delivery.
If anyone's ever heard Richard Wiegold speak, I mean, that's the prime example. Prime example.
Richard Wiegold, I still remember I was on tour with him, and we went and saw a horror movie together. And out of nervousness during this horror movie, he would laugh. And there's nothing funnier than sitting next to a bass with the biggest bass voice you've ever heard in your life.
Literally.
Every time there'd be this everything would get silent in the theater and you'd hear, ha, 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 ha. And honestly, it was the best comedy I've ever been to for a horror movie. It was so good.
That's it. Field trip next time with Richard just to see a horror movie.
God, I miss Richard. He's the best. We've got to bring him on. We've got to chat with him as well. Him and Abby. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, they're the best. There was so much in that episode. When your mind is spinning, because there are so many things that were so interesting, talking about the camaraderie of Wagnerians coming together because they know how hard it is and the way they look after each other.
I think it's special because, in the regular space, as I said, most of us are crossing over and working in a lot more kind of, it's not just bel canto. I'm doing Mozart, I'm doing Britten, I'm doing various things. Whereas I think that there's probably that more sharing space in the Wagner world because they're seeing each other more regularly. They're the same names that are getting hired to go back and do that. And it's like a little family that develops. It's like
a little club. Yeah.
It's when you work with a colleague several times, you get that camaraderie, don't you? For me, it's a little bit like coming back to Melbourne Opera because I work with similar people in that company and there's that lovely camaraderie that builds. But I think with Wagner, I do think it's the only kind of grouping per se that's left that would feel that. I'm jealous. That's something really special, actually.
I also really liked Brian talking about having to get deep into the comprehension to be able to memorize it so he can have that proper dialogue on stage.
As he said, otherwise you just stand there and look blank for a while. Like, you have to be, you just have to be.
Wait, that's what I've been doing wrong all these years in all forms of opera, standing there looking blank.
I mean, even when I've done German repertoire recently, not so much Wagner, but I did a Strauss spectacular with Scottish opera and even that, the amount of text, I was like, oh my days. But it does keep you so much more involved and present and, with every single line. So it does have that effect, which, as they were saying, it does with the Wagner as well, because there's just so much to absorb and you have to be on it. Otherwise you just get lost, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm conscious of the time. I recognize you have to run in just a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna say goodbye and we'll chat to each other next week. Next week, it's just us talking together.
Awesome. That's all you can want for Christmas.
It's a very early Christmas present.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see each other next week and all of our listeners will hear us next week. Bye.
Bye.